afternoon, everyone. My name is Nayaswami Padma, and I am here today every weekday at 12 o'clock. My husband Riemann and I alternate to read to you from Whispers from Eternity by Paramahansa Yogananda and to offer a few comments on his prayer demands. We're on number 127. Going in order, whether dead or living, I am held in thine immortal arms. Mother divine, the brave may laugh as they pass among flying bullets through death threatens with each one. I laugh, however, because I am floating on the surface of this present life or sinking beneath the waves of death. I rest forever in thy protecting, omnipresent, eternal life, held safely forever in thy immortal arms. What a reassuring prayer demand, especially in these times when we seem to be surrounded by the potential threat of death through the virus, and so many have perished as a result of it. What he is saying in this prayer demand is that when we anchor our consciousness in God, when we make that divine, powerful connection in our lives, then the fear of death simply melts away. One of the chants that Yogananda's guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar, used to love to play, Desire My Great Enemy, he says in there, you don't have to fear anything anymore. What does that mean exactly? I remember years ago when I first got on the spiritual path, many decades ago. Um, I don't like to think about it in that way, but in fact, you know, over 40, close to 50 years ago, I remember being at a satsang in Swami Kriyananda's dome, Yogananda's direct disciple. And at a certain point, we got to ask questions of him after he was done speaking for a little bit. And the question that I asked him was, what is the fear of death? What is fear? Is it rooted in the fear of death? That's the way I phrased it. And he responded and said, no, all fear is rooted in ego. The ego is the only aspect of our consciousness, that which is attached to the body and the personality identified with it. The ego is then the only concept that is afraid to die because soul knows that it lives on eternally. The soul is immortal. The soul has no fear. Therefore, it makes perfect sense in this prayer demand that what he is saying is that when we root our consciousness in the center of our soul, in the center of our cosmic, omnipresent being that resides within each and every one of us, when we are rooted in that reality, we are rooted in God. Life and death are like waves on the ocean. They don't affect us in the same way. Jesus was crucified. He was tortured before he was crucified. It's not as if he didn't experience the pain. He just experienced it in a different state of consciousness than the rest of us, most of the rest of us, tend to be in, sadly, most of the time. God forgetfulness. When we are in God remembrance, any of these, any experiences in life or death are, as those who have attained that consciousness describe, all same. All same is what one of my friends used to call it, all same. Well, it's easy for us to think about these things. What we want to do is get to the point where we can experience them. And Paramahansa Yogananda and others came to show us, to teach us those practices, those attitudes, that way of life that can help us, each and every one of us, experience that consciousness. Joy to you, and we'll see you all again tomorrow when we hope it's a little less smoky for everyone on the West Coast. Bye bye now.